guys, it's Cindy Leach, your polymer clay tutor, and today, show and tell, I'm going to show you 1,000,001 polymer clay necklaces. Now, a little while ago, I did a 1,000,001 polymer clay earring video, and it was quite popular, so I thought I would do the same thing again with the necklaces. Now, I didn't include pendants. We'll do that in another day. Otherwise, that would probably be 2,000,001 necklaces. So now the reason I wanted to show you this is my collection of the stuff that I wear every day and that I've made throughout the years. I wanted to show you, from your point of view, all of the different types of ideas and things that you can do with polymer clay. Many of them are samples from the different tutorials that I've done. But also, if you've never been exposed to polymer clay, you may not realize just how versatile it is and how many different cool styles that you can get with it. And then, of course, this is just my own personal style. There's lots of other people's styles as well. All right, so I'm going to just kind of show you what I've got here and tell you a little bit about them and go through as many of them as I can. All right, so here I've got a necklace that I've got some hollow lentil beads on. These are double-sided beads. One side I put a tutorial that I did on the reptile cane video, and I used the cane that was from that for that side, and then on the other side I used a kind of a faux wood technique. And then, of course, you know, I've used some real chalk turquoise, and I did a linked wire technique there. Here's an oldie that I've had around for a really long time, but it's kind of unusual and I really like it. It's got, it's done with an inlay technique, which I have a tutorial on, and I pre-baked different types of polymer clay samples. So ones that look like faux turquoise, and ones that had like a crackled finish on it, and some that have this red stone. I'm forgetting the name of the stone, but I've got it embedded in some like faux bone, and it has a real kind of First Nation kind of look to it, or Aboriginal sort of look to it. This necklace here, and I've kind of clustered all the ones with similar coloring together, I realized when I laid them out. But this one here is a neat combination. It has a real shell, abalone shell piece here with a pink dyed shell piece on top. This side here is turquoise bone beads, or bone-shaped beads. But this side here is a polymer clay curb chain. So this is all polymer clay on this one side. Probably laying it down will be best. And it's a curb chain, so it's individual pieces. I have a tutorial for that, but it has a real kind of rustic, neat look, and it's a neat balance between the real and the faux. Now this one has a real layered look. It's done with chain, a cluster of different beads coming out of a bead cone. Different strings of things. I've got this here is from a tutorial called Faux Coral Heishi beads, and I've made the beads themselves. It's not real coral, it's faux coral with polymer clay. And then the rest is all real seed beads, real bronze, and different like glass beads and turquoise and that kind of thing. Or those could be magnesite beads, actually. This one is quite unusual. It is kind of a choker style necklace. It kind of has a planetary sort of look. The pendant at the bottom looks a lot like a planet. I made this absolutely years ago. The way I did the wiring on it looks a little like a globe on an axis. And then the just the way I strung these together in kind of circles with different chunks of stone chips and pearls. I used soft flex wire for that, and then some handmade chain at the back part and a handmade hook. So that's kind of an unusual, neat one. This one was done using wire crochet and chunks of amethyst chips. And then this is, two parts are polymer clay here. The first part is the polymer clay cone, and you can make polymer clay cones, bead cones out of polymer clay, but in any kind of style or size that you like. So it's really can make for pulling together a whole look. And then this is from one of my tutorials. I believe I called this one faux enameling. I think so. But it has it's used with stencils and chalk pastels and liquid polymer clay and a bunch of neat techniques. I think that one turned out really lovely. I wear this one a lot. This is from a tutorial that hasn't even aired yet. I've filmed it, but I just haven't released it yet. It is called Faux Purple Mojave Turquoise. And Mojave turquoise is a type of man-made turquoise that is where they cluster together chunks of turquoise and make a block. I've made a faux of a faux, which is an interesting concept. And then I also teach the copper bezel in that tutorial as well. And then on the back side here, I have kind of groups of different types of necklaces that I've made. I've done a lot of chain combined with polymer clay. These ones, I guess I'm going to have to go faster. There's so many. But this one's got a piece of faux labradorite on it and some wire lace as part of the necklace. This one here is got like a tulip bead on it. And that's from one of the tutorials as well. Most of these are actually. It's got some neat little dangles on the chain. I really like mixing chain and polymer clay. I think it's a nice yin and yang kind of hard surface and soft surfaces. This one also is with the same parrot tulip cane, but it's done in quite a different way. And on a bead, it has a little bit of an Asian flair. And then I made this chain out of, it's one of those chainmail chains with a bunch of little jump rings. Here's a cute one. This is from the fairy door tutorial that I did. I did most of my fairy doors a little bigger than this, but I decided it'd be fun to do a tiny little one to put on a necklace. It's also got chain, but this one has some gears, some little jade or stone leaves and dangles and things. I wear that one quite a bit. It's quite whimsical. And you'll see that my style is, I definitely have a voice. I'm not sure what the voice is, but there's a voice there, and it's in all the different pieces. Here's a big fat vintage trailer bead that is from the Happy Camper cane tutorial. And there's just a couple of little dangles at the top here that add a little bit to the necklace. Here's a real oldie, but I really love this one. This is from the faux raku tutorial that I did years and years ago. And it's the deep crackle raku, and I made the chain as well. It's a hammered copper chain, and I made that out of, and soldered it and stuff. That was a fun one. Here's a super old one. I'm not crazy about the style, but I keep it because it was probably one of my first necklaces. Here is, and I didn't do the best job on the mica shift, but it's there. You can see it. It is a little dragonfly in a mica shift technique, and then it's just on some light chain. I think it's not the design that I don't like. I think it's just the quality of the chain and the beads. I think if I had used a little bit better quality beads, I would like the design better. But it's an old one. It's where you start. All right, so here's one from the owl charm, wise owl charm necklace tutorial. I think it's something like named something like that. And I show you in that tutorial how to make this cute little sassy owl, a little book bead, and also how to stamp on some metal charms and to make that finding there that you can swap out for different ones. These ones all here are also on chain, but they're much longer. There's another version of the same owl tutorial, but it's more rustic looking in copper rather than silver. Here's a few more here of the Happy Camper cane done in just slightly different ways. Here's one done on a ball chain with the faux rust technique. And then I layered a key and a few other things. You can really layer polymer clay into a lot of cool different things. Oh, I wanted to show you this, but I don't know if it's in a... Here, I'll take this off here. This is something that I really like. Now, it's a lariat style necklace. So I've got a dangle at the bottom of this chain that's got a whole bunch of little flower beads from the lilac bead tutorial. And then I've got a single large loop at the top. And what you can do is pull the chain through the loop, and then wear this as a lariat necklace. So it hangs on your neck wherever it's going to hang, whatever size neck you have. And it has quite a neat look. It's kind of a balance between delicate and clunky. I quite like that. There are a bunch of necklaces here that are all kind of done on leather and real kind of earthy in style. Almost masculine, but not quite. It's got, here's one with the echinacea flower tutorial that I made in that one on a leather cord. There's the one that we made recently, or I made recently using some silk screens. I have a tutorial on, a free tutorial on that one, on the silk screens. And then I strung this one on a multiple cords, linen cords, and just attached them at the top with a finding and things. This one here was done with some scrap clay. The scrap, when I pulled it out of the pasta machine, just happened to look really cool. So I thought, well, why not just leave it as is? And then I riveted it and used a rivet and put like a copper disc and a little tin disc, put it all together there in the corner. And you can kind of see the rivet at the back here. The camera may or may not pick up on it, but I riveted right through. And then hung that on a leather cord as well with a handmade clasp. I do have tutorials on making the clasps, like the wire cord ends and wire S-clasps and stuff, and putting beads on them. That's really a nice skill to have if you're making a lot of jewelry, is to be able to make your own findings as well. Oh, this one, I love this one. This one is a leather one, but it's got a little birdhouse bead from a tutorial on it. And I shaped little dangles to look like leaves. They're little copper head pins that I torched. And then I've hung a few of them in a row here. So this necklace, you can hang this hook at different spots. So if you want the dangle to hang way down, like down your shirt, depending on what type of shirt you're wearing. Oops, I got it flipped around. Anyways, you can hang it at different lengths and wear it different styles. Here's this is from the Celtic Heart tutorial, and I show you how to make the Celtic Heart as well as the faux wood veneer, and then we do the veneer over the Celtic Heart so that the heart itself almost looks like it was carved straight from one solid piece of wood, which is a neat technique. It's a lot easier for me to do that in polymer clay than it would be for me to do that in woodworking, because my woodworking skills are minimal at best. Here's a necklace I made it's a man's necklace. And I've got kind of a piece of the faux burl wood technique on there, some wire working, and a leather cord with a nice heavy chunky masculine looking clasp at the top there. Here's an oldie with they almost look like balloons to me, so I called it the circus necklace, and it's got some neat little Skinner blend canes. And this is from the mitered corner cane tutorial. And if you do it in these strange sort of contrasting colors, it has quite a dramatic effect. And then the scraps I made into a little swirly lentil bead. And this is hanging from kind of a balloon-shaped charm holder. These are entirely different. These are completely light and airy looking. This one is done from the frosted petal or frosted flower tutorial, and it's done with translucent clays, and it has inks and things, and it has a very frosted, beautiful look. And it's done on soft flex wire with a magnetic clasp at the top here. And it's just so light and airy. It looks really summery. And this is the same sort of concept as far as the way it's been strung. But these are some beads that I did with the, which one was this? The torn paper tutorial. It's sort of a watercolor look, and it has a little bit of sparkle and stuff in there. What else? I've got a couple of longer necklaces here. I know this is a ton, but hopefully you're getting lots of neat ideas here for your own beads and your own style. Now here's a necklace that I made. I did the links in a rosary kind of style, and these are from the holly and berry cane tutorial. So I wear this a lot around Christmas time. It has a real antique-y kind of look to it. I used the cane in this sort of pendant medallion kind of thing at the bottom here with some chain. And then I also used the same canes on some of the smaller beads up here to the side. And then scraps always can make some pretty great lentil beads, so you might as well throw them in there because they match so nicely. So I did that, and it has kind of a real Christmassy kind of theme to it. Look at this huge pile piling up. All right, here's another one done strung similarly. And even with the tassel at the bottom, so it's similar, but this is done with the Easter lily cane tutorial. And the Easter lily cane is really neat. You can make it, well, you make the cane, it's about that big, but when you reduce it down, you can reduce it down to different sizes, and the beads have quite a different look. So you can see here, I've got like one size of the lily here, then I've reduced it down smaller to this size here, and even smaller to this one here. And this little one looks like a floral fabric or something. It's so tiny. And what else have I got? I got a couple of really long ones here. These are lanyards and things. They kind of fit in the necklace category. These are lanyards. I haven't been to the Y for a while. I walk with my girlfriend now around the neighborhood. But when I went to the Y, I put my Y pass on the bottom of it. But it has some pirate beads on it from the pirate cane tutorial. And I like the sassiness of these. From far away, you're not sure what it is because it kind of looks, it doesn't look like little bones, but from up close you realize they're bones. I would say that this necklace is kind of in the same sort of feel because of the nautical kind of theme there. It's got the larger anchor cane from the anchor cane tutorial. It's got a bunch of charms and things at the bottom, all sea related. And I wear this necklace an absolute ton, especially with my striped kind of t-shirts in the summertime. This is from the same sort of collection, only I've used some rope instead. And I found an anchor finding that was had all these little spots on it so I could dangle things from it, which is kind of cool. This one here is just probably my first lanyard, so it's a little hokey. The bead quality isn't that great, and even the techniques that I did isn't that great, but I keep it for sentimental reasons. Just because you start something, like I said, you start somewhere, and I can see my improvement over the years. And lastly, I just have a couple of little clusters. I won't go too much into these, but these are more kind of bohemian style necklaces done on fabric, little polymer clay charms. There's one with a little starfish on there. This one has a daisy. And this one has like a little faux stoneware type charm on it. And these ones here are all ones with some kumihimo cord on it. I learned how to do kumihimo a while ago, and I taught that one in a tutorial. It's fun to do kumihimo. And this one has a Celtic knot on it that's a little bit more detailed. It has kind of a stone look to it. Here's a super fine kumihimo cord with a just bezel filled with polymer clay and stamped. And then lastly, here's another kumihimo cord done with some fuzzy yarn, so it's all kind of fuzzy. It's got a ranunculus flower from the ranuncula tutorial, and then it's got a little bit of chain and another little ranuncula flower that as a dangle on that end. So that one kind of combines a whole bunch of different things: the cording, the polymer clay, the wire work, and some chain. So I hope you enjoyed that. There's so many things you can make with polymer clay, honestly. I don't know if that was anywhere near a million, but I know it took me a long time to show you all to you. And I hope you were inspired by that, and it gives you some ideas on what you can do with your polymer clay. Also, check out some of the tutorials. I'll try to leave links. If there's one in particular that you are dying to have a link to, I will put that in the if you put that in the comment section below, I'll give that to you. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, leave those in the comment section below as well. And don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and to share it and subscribe and all those fun things. All right, so we'll see you next time, and bye for now.